Welcome back to Bona's Gym. Today is January 12th, 2024. This is week 9.2 Midsection routine. During this video, I'm going to explain my high-intensity training program so you can get the most out of it. At the end credits of this video, and all of my videos, there is a workout list so you can copy it. I have a series of shorts in my playlist marked explaining my HIT program. This video will cover up to number 11 of the series. The series of shorts goes to number 18 to date. At the end of this video, there will be a link to that playlist. Remember, as always, this workout is completely free to you. Side effects include muscle gain, rapid increase in strength, and a well-balanced physique naturally. Welcome back to Bona's Gym. I'm going to try to explain how to figure out your rep range and how this program works. It will be a series and I will number them in order. So we begin with every week you will have a different workout. Mostly the same exercises, about 35 exercises total. However, you will only do 14 exercises with a warm-up exercise. The purpose of the warm-up exercise is to get your blood flowing and heart rate up so you don't dawdle to the next exercise. I know many of you do a warm-up exercise for each exercise you do. This isn't necessary in this type of training. Low weight, high reps to failure. With every exercise, your first few reps are warm-up. Anyways, so each Monday you will re-establish a new baseline to beat by Friday. Providing you lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you will need to keep records. So every Monday you can go back to your charts for that exercises and see what you did in the past. Start there. For example, stiff leg deadlift, 190 pounds, 18 reps 2 weeks ago. This week you have it again. I rate 190, 18. My goal is 19 reps this week on Monday. Every time you lift, you try to beat the last lift by at least 1 rep. Now it is going to get tricky. Let's say you had leg curls before stiff leg deadlift. You may not be able to get to 19 on Monday. So what? Maybe you get to 17. That is Monday baseline because you've already pre-exhausted your hamstrings. Don't get discouraged by this. This is part of the process of my routines. Hit the muscles in different order constantly. Every week is a shock to the body. Your body will never get used to it. Therefore, you will enjoy building muscle every week, man or woman. Granted, the first 10 weeks are the same for men and women, but after that, everything changes. So don't get discouraged if you don't get your PR on every exercise every week. It is every week you have a new PR. Every workout, you will beat the last workout. Something that is difficult to comprehend. For example, last week I did 20 reps on leg curl. This week I did stiff leg deadlift before leg curl. Now I can only get 15 reps on leg curl. I'm not discouraged because I know I pre-exhausted my hamstrings. This is the same for every workout. It is literally designed like this. Some people get discouraged and cannot grasp this concept. The first 10 weeks are crucial in building your legs, glutes, and back. So don't expect your arms and chest to grow too much. The second 10 weeks are for that. Remember to give each exercise your all, 110%. This isn't your grandma's multi-set workout you may be used to. You will experience pain. As for comparison, the only workouts that matter on how much weight and how many reps are the first week and week 10 for any real comparison. For body composition comparison, weigh in Monday morning, week 1, in the morning after you do your business and before you drink anything. Also take pictures using a measured distance and height with the camera, filling the entire frame top to bottom. Set the lens of the camera at your center of your body and level. Be sure to write down the measurements. Now take measurements of your body with a cloth tape. Then do a skin fold measurement in the last at least 4 places and write down where and how much. Providing you eat enough, but not too much, and get enough rest. By the end of the 10 weeks, you'll have gained at least 20 pounds of muscle. Women can expect 8 to 12 pounds of muscle. At the end of the 10 weeks, weigh and measure fat. Write it all down. You will see a noticeable change. Thicker legs, glutes, back. Your shoulders will be wider as well. And now we move on to the second 10 weeks after taking a week off. Again, Monday, week 1, day 1, weigh in and take measurements. Also, take pictures again. You may be shocked that you gained a couple of pounds. The skin fold measurements will assure you that you gained muscle. The second 10 weeks will focus on arms and chest mostly because we want to bring the body up to a balance for the third set of 10 weeks. This workout routine is a total of 43 weeks, and after that, the routine will transform into a new strategy. We simply need to constantly change the workout so our body doesn't get used to how you torture it. Imagine yourself threatening to completely deplete the muscle reserve capacity, because your body will not allow you to naturally completely deplete its reserve. Therefore, you will have to force it to dig deeper into the reserve to stimulate growth. This isn't going to happen with a multitude of sets. This will only happen when you push past failure. It is then that the body will retaliate and cause the muscle to grow. This stimulation can be done in a couple of different ways. Forced reps past failure with a training partner, forced negatives past failure. Then my favorite that you can find within my training routine is 6 different exercises performed to failure, 2 to 3 exercises as a superset with a 1 or 2 minute break between the next 2 or 3 exercises. Generally, with compound movements being the first exercise of 2 or 3 exercise superset. Once the 4 to 6 exercise isolation part of the routine is completed, take a minute or 2 to rest and complete the rest of the routine as a superset with a break, with exception to ensuring your heart rate doesn't exceed your maximum limit. This formula is a proven method to stimulate muscle growth. Take it from me, I started this training as my own lab rat at 54 years old after almost a year of experimenting with various training methods. Some gave me minimal results, some high volume removed muscle size altogether. Some people seem to think that these science-based training principles are facts. They always refer to studies. What these studies don't consider is anything out of the control group, namely high-intensity training formulated to stimulate, paired with a diet that you yourself figured out. Then there's genetic outliers. Nearly every person has genetic potential in many of their muscle groups. Personally, my superior genetics are legs, glutes, neck, and back. My poor genetics is chest. I'm not looking to be any kind of fitness model or compete in any level. I'm certainly not going to get down to dangerous body fat levels either. A couple of months ago, I figured out my diet for a light cut that allows me to continue to build muscle and lose fat. It is a slower process than normal, but at least I'm not losing muscle. I know this because the scale is not going up too fast, but I'm losing fat, and the tape measure is going up. Meanwhile, I'm adding reps or weight with every workout. Now to figure out your personal rep range for muscle growth. No, don't read about what study did the best. Remember, each one of us have a slightly different genetic potential for each muscle group. This being the case, you will start week 1 with a standard 8 to 12 reps per exercise. If by Wednesday you didn't add at least 1 rep per exercise, then these factors should be considered. Did you eat enough? If your answer is yes, then you will need to lower the weight and do more reps, to say 12 to 15 reps. The next question is, did you go to absolute failure? If no, then before you lower the weight for more reps, push yourself harder. If yes, then lower the weight and do more reps, to say 15 to 20 reps. By the first 3 weeks, you will have figured out your personal genetics and your personal reserve capacity. Once you have figured out your personal muscle building rep range for each muscle, you will grow very fast. Remember, never add sets. Doing so will dig a very deep hole in your body's reserve, and at that point it will consume the least used muscle to replenish its reserve. Trust the process. So what if everyone in the gym is banging out 5 sets of each exercise and doing the PPL or bro split? No worries, they will soon notice that you grew a shirt and pants size in 10 weeks, and they will be asking for your secret. At 54 years old, natural, and 5'8", I went from a loose-fitting medium t-shirt and 32 waist to a normal-fitting large t-shirt and 34 waist in 13 weeks. Once you find your body's reserve capacity, you will learn cardiovascular limit. Again, by week 3, you will know your limit. Be sure to get a heart rate monitor and know your limit in the charts that are online for your age. For me, I can do most of the workouts in 24 minutes, and some I need 40 minutes, such as legs and back, because those I need high reps and takes longer. Another factor is the tempo of the reps you perform. Always perform the negative in 4 seconds. I use breathing to count my reps. Positive speed, exhale once, pause at the top for a hot second, and breathe 2 times on the negative. Inhale through the nose. This is where nitric oxide is produced. Never hold your breath. This will starve your body of oxygen. Oxygen is the key to make your muscles work more efficiently and add strength. Remember, people, I'm not selling anything. I'm giving this to you absolutely free. There is no catch. Sure, there's a 1% chance that years from now, YouTube might actually start giving me a few dollars from the ads they put on my videos. That takes a boatload of subscribers and for you to actually watch my videos. For that, I really don't care. The videos are there for two reasons. First, we can already look back to the first video and see how far we've come in such a short time in our transformations. Second, we want to share with you something that actually works and works fast. Lastly, yep, my videos suck. We aren't pros. We don't have expensive equipment, just an iPhone and a cheap gimbal. We use simple iMovie for editing. I've been told my titles suck. Well, sure they do. They're there for you to be able to find the right video in a playlist easily. Whether or not you hit that subscribe or like button, we will continue. It's 90% for us to look back and track our progress. Okay, admission of a simple fact. We have gotten a little bit better making videos and editing. Once in a while we joke around and while working out, yep, that goes into a short for you to enjoy. My wife loves to flip me off a lot, so it's hard to edit it out. This all started back in November 2023. We decided we were getting fat and out of shape, so we got a Bowflex and a Marcy Universal Gym, a bunch of weights. We couldn't go to a gym because my wife's a gym perv. The poor guys wouldn't be able to work out with her there. Nah, I'm just kidding. We don't have time to go. Homestead life, you know. We have a big house, no kids, so we use the upstairs living room as our gym. A year after we outgrew those machines, we got the Hoist Universal Gym. We then started recording our workouts and putting them on YouTube, as the high-intensity training routines were then perfected. We tried lots of different workouts in the first year. None of them worked. I sat down and came up with an ever-changing, ever-evolving, high-intensity training routine. Here we are. The reason for the changing and evolving routine is simple. It shocks the body into growing. The entire first year, I constantly took measurements. Sometimes I got bigger, and sometimes I got smaller. That's how I developed this new routine. It will build muscle. It works on a 54-year-old man and an early 40s woman. Imagine what it would do for the younger guys and girls. For me, the measurements get bigger, and for her, they get smaller. Basically, the more work you put in each workout, such as adding sets and exercises, the deeper the hole you dig. This is due to the muscle's ability to store energy. Welcome back to Bona's Gym. Rep Range in My Program Explained, Part 15. The bigger the muscles, the more energy it takes to move it. The more energy required means it must take that energy from somewhere, and it only takes 5 seconds to metabolize its own muscles, whereas it takes 5 hours to metabolize fat. We aren't trying to do aerobic exercise to get smaller muscles. No, we're doing anaerobic exercise to get bigger muscles. Therefore, we need to limit the amount of work we put into training. Again, and I can't stress this enough, that I should be cutting the number of my exercises to 12 instead of 14 by now. But, for the sake of delivering a complete workout to you, I shall continue with the 14 exercises. The reason being is during the workout at around the 12th exercise, I can feel my body telling me that it's done. I know that when I continue to the last 2, that it's taking energy from muscles that aren't being worked. As for women, I know, pour on the comments. The women's workouts are tailored to enhance feminine features with exception to the first 10 weeks. But we all need a solid foundation to build from. Don't worry, ladies, you won't get a wide back. You will get a nice pair of legs and calves. The second 10 weeks will focus more on the glutes than the first 10 weeks. During the leg press, always keep your feet high on the plate. This will move the force to the glutes. My wife is and always has been quad dominant, meaning she never used her glutes very much. Here it is, week 8.2, and she can now begin to squat. Granted, she had a bad knee injury 6 years ago, so doing squats was a challenge. Her first attempt at bodyweight squats was wobbly, then to a broomstick, and now she can do it with a 20-pound bar for reps. Another thing that I must stress for you ladies is there is no miracle cure to lose fat. It won't happen overnight. To do it right and not have lots of loose skin when you get to your goal will take time. Replacing fat with muscle is a good way to go, but also challenging mentally for women because they tend to be slaves to the scale. However, diet plus bodybuilding will fill in the loose skin to some degree. When the scale doesn't move, they get depressed. Get that skin fold caliper and tape measure instead. Diets. A plain, balanced diet focusing on getting enough protein. A minimum of 0.7 grams per pound of lean body mass. Then get the rest of your macros in balance. Welcome back to Bona's Gym. Rep range in my program explained for women, part 3. The 0.7 grams per pound of lean body mass minimum is for bodybuilding. Lots of diet plans out there, and my wife gets frustrated with them. She's always bouncing them off me. When she tries less protein, her workouts suck. And I tell her to get back on what I tell her, and then she is adding reps every workout. If you're on an anorexic fad diet, don't lift weights. You can only starve your body and your brain for so long. Yes, it's discouraging to not see the scale move, but best to get a digital BMI scale, though not entirely accurate. Things to consider are water retention. Women retain water more than men. Water is retained in fat cells. The human body is mostly water. It's when we hold excess water in our fat cells that give us that bloated look. My goal is to help my wife sculpt her body so she will be happy looking at herself in the mirror. This can also work for all women. A nice pair of legs and glutes paired with some chest muscles and arms. We will round the shoulders a bit, not anything near manly, just soften the bones with some muscle. All other explanation for my program is found in the playlist on YouTube Bona's Gym labeled Explaining My HIT Program. Everything in my program works for both men and women. The routines are different. For the women who want a more masculine body, just use my routines. Remember ladies, don't get discouraged with the scale. You will build about 8 pounds of muscle in 10 weeks and lose fat at the same rate, providing your diet is good.